forgot what the fuck was I talking about again?
You had the script. They called you in, and it was on the computer.
Yeah,
but you
yeah, I
wanted a
can't do
hard.
that. It has to be a printed hard copy. Thank
Same.
you. Good job.
Yeah,
Wow,
there it
you're
was. Yeah, I
really, like,
remembered.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to have it like printed and sit somewhere and just like take my time.
I'm the same with that. I don't know why a computer screen just
I can do it. It's doable, but it's not the same.
yeah, I can do it. I just prefer I will print it up at my house like if you can't get me the hard copy cuz it's more comfortable for me. Um I don't know why. I think it's honestly just the computer screen that hurts my eyes. You know, reading a couple hundred pages like
Too much.
it's too much. Yeah, then too cuz I go through it 5 or 6 times by the time we're ready to shoot on the prep. Yeah, oh yeah, you too. Yeah, sorry. And so it's like
And I can't like I
can't
don't want to say I
stare at the
can't read, but it's
screen.
like so
Buckle down. Mm-hmm.
at least I have some kind of like almost like a photographic memory to where like
Mhm.
the second pass I'm really remembering the pages
Yeah.
and you know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do breakdowns kind of like ADs too as a scriptee? I don't even know that. Do you break down like elements into what's wardrobe, who's what's happening? Do you do that as well?
Yeah, I'll do a so like my approach when I break down a script is I'll go through, read it for the story. What's the story about? Do I like it? You know, this and that. Then I'll go through. Usually I'll start with the characters next. Then from the characters I'll start with props.
Mm-hmm.
Then from props wardrobe. Then from
Costumes.
there, breaking down. If it's like not a very like move intensive set, I really don't focus on location too much because that's really not I can't fix that.
Mhm.
But I can focus everything else like on the wardrobe. If it's however many days are in the script, if it's like a 1 day thing, super easy. But yeah, then just making sure that all the props are in, just so that I have no hesitation on set when someone's like, "Hey, what is this?" I can just look at you and say that that's that.
Do you have any experience? This is a question I would wanted to ask because you know when you're putting together a larger project and it's an action or
Mhm.
some kind of specialty thing, principle, sorry, practical effects
Mhm.
or anything like that. I always wanted to ask this a script. I can't believe that I haven't.
Mhm.
When you're reading the script and it says, "And now they fight."
Yeah.
And by the way, this is how George Lucas described the fight of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker in the script.
And that's all that happened. Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
When they get to that 30-minute fight, when he first delivered the first draft and like we're
Mhm.
working and it says where that battle happens, it just says, "And now they fight." Brilliant.
Brilliant.
It was like that be my type of a script. Be like, yes, thank you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So when you have like an action sequence or a fight, that like, and he hits him here, and we're kind of visualizing it, but you can't quite get it.
Mhm.
But then it gets to the stunt coordinator, and they choreograph this whole thing,
Mhm.
and then you're on set and you're
Mhm.
seeing it for the first time.
Mhm.
Like, how do you memorize? Like, how do you like? That's too much to take in. To like, oh, like did he flip and that guy kicked him in the head? Like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah.
So like, do you have to go do a separate kind of like different department heads to go like, because you're kind of, well, rolling, cool, and now you're paying attention to what's happening, keeping track and notes. But like, if it's something complicated like choreographed stunt,
Yeah.
like, do you go to the stunt coordinator and kind of get an idea of like, hey, what do you guys? So like, what is this? Now they fight.
Yeah.
So I know what I'm looking for, so I can keep track of it.
Yeah. So normally, thankfully, I haven't had many stunts without a choreographer, so they've been very helpful with me as well. Of like, did we get this flip? Did we get that punch? So like, because I don't work with stunts all that much, so my approach to that is when we get on set, I'll watch the blocking rehearsal and then I'll memorize everything from the blocking. And then from the blocking, that's my script, so to say.
For the choreographed.
Yeah, for that choreographed section. And usually I'll record it. Or again, if it's not too intensive and it's like if it's a punch here, a punch there, I can remember that.
When you say record it, you will record the screen with your phone to keep a note?
Or I'll record like the actual the physical blocking if camera's not set up yet or anything.
Have you ever had an issue? Maybe you haven't. Have you ever been on like a larger NDA type level film? Like when you're the one who's like walking around with your personal phone and like you're recording the thing, like, did you ever get like, I'm like, well, I'm the scriptee, so listen, I need to know.
Well, no, I will make sure that everybody knows I'm using my cell phone before, so I don't get that talked to.
Do they allow you to use your phone that you walk away from the set with?
Yeah, because it's like, you know, I'm under contract, so it's like if it gets out, I'm screwed either way. But it's like
so like what if you're on Marvel movie, for example, right, or something big, and you walk away and you leave it accidentally in the restaurant.
Okay, well, so for bigger sets like that, they do give you
they just like, this is what you record
this is what you're doing. Because I don't think that you're allowed to bring
that was basically my question.
Thank you for answering. Of course. It's
awesome. I was like, there's no way, right, that they has to like protect it somehow. You can't walk.
No, they give you they give you your own stuff depending on what kind of script supervisor you are, because I'm an on paper script supervisor, which means everything that I do, I have printed sheets out. I have printed sheets of my opposite pages, of my editor's logs. The script is printed, but then you also have digital scripties, and they do everything on an iPad or a laptop, whatever's like preferable, usually from the software, and the software does everything for you. It's pretty awesome.
And it's called Scripty, right?
It's called, exactly. The reason I don't use it is because I don't know if technology hates me. I always lose stuff. Like files always get deleted, and I don't know how to get them back. I'm just not technically
so you're like old school
savvy.
Manual. So
that's
you
how
send
I operate.
PDFs to the.
Yeah, I have a scanner, so I'll scan everything on set.
Doesn't Scripty software sync with at most editing softwares for like the editor though?
Yeah, it does.
So and if it gets requested that like no use the software, so then they can take it for the workflow and just take the file from you and put it in the editing software. And then they can. And I have a couple questions about that. Can you talk a little bit about the process of the notes that you're creating? So like, for example, we're doing a take where you say, "Fuck you, Tori." And the director didn't like it, and then he says, "Fuck you, Tori."
Yeah, that was better. Yeah.
Was that one better?
It was more believable.
Or it was like, or it's like, you know, that's too dramatic. And it's like, you know, screw you, Tori. And that was the one that they want to use. You highlight that, meaning you circle it.
Exactly.
This take number 3 right here. I'm sorry, Tori, I didn't mean to. You know, I love you.
The German 3.
Yeah, the German.
Yeah, I was like, oh, there it is.
No, it was actually. Yeah, I know. I'm kidding. You circle that when the director says, "I like that's the one I want." Yes. So then, when they're going through the footage in the editing bay, they're not like looking through 15, takes of like, which one was the one that I like? Oh, like they always go back when they're doing the rough cut assembly. Yeah, they take the highlighted or starred or whatever. Is there levels of like when you're doing 5 to 10 takes or on something, like, oh, I like that one like 7 out of 10, and then he says, I like that one like 9 out of 10. Do you is there levels of like how you organize the takes that the director prefers, or just I like that one, I like that one?
I think it depends on the director, because I've had multiple directors say, I only like this section from that take, or I only like the beginning of this take, the rest I hated, or, you know, the ending of that was great, but we can't use anything up until then. So what I will do is circle that, and then in big writing, only the end, or only the head, or only like whatever part the director wanted. And
can it be even as specific as like timestamp?
It can be.
Yeah, like, hey, this from...
Yeah.
And then when you guys watch the playback, right? Sometimes because the director, like, you take the take and then it's like, let me look at it. And he says, okay, from here, and you mark that.
Yes.
So it could be as specific as that.
Yeah, it's very much as specific as the director would like it to be, because I'm making it as specific as the director's telling me to. So if, for example, like for my notes, I'll write down everything that went right technically, or everything that went wrong technically, and maybe why we
can you give an example of like when something goes wrong?
Yeah, like if the boom comes down, or maybe an actor's lav falls out and we can see their microphone or their little mic pack.
Yeah.
You know, we can't use that because
the lav.
Yeah, the mic that goes
The transmitter.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that would be an example.
Or if you can see the wire in the shirt or something like that. Yeah.
So I would write that down.
Do you have a discussion with the director prior about, hey, like, what's your lingo, what's your style? So let's say, for example, you see a boom and nobody's saying anything. Are you know, before you guys start shooting the movie at all, do you say, hey, if I see something, can I call it out while we're rolling?
Yeah.
And what has been your experience with directors? Do they, like, let's say you see a boom, what do you call, frame or boom or?
It depends. I've noticed, like, more so for indie sets, directors don't mind if I call it out while we're rolling. Intake, booms and frame, and then so that they can lift it out. Some of the bigger budget productions, they will, just so that, and mainly I've noticed this for the integrity of the actors, they'll keep going just to not mess them up and keep them going, and then say something afterwards, and then we'll do it again. And
then you mark it as that was a boom in the shot.
Exactly.
How do you deal with I can't sidetrack again. I would lose what I was trying to say. Okay, so when so you would ask in the beginning of the process, hey, can I call it out, or how do you work, right? Like that would be a conversation between you, like, hey, how do you want to do this together?
Yeah, and if I hadn't had a conversation with the director before the shoot day, I will have it with them that morning when they have a free moment. Hey, I'm so and so. Nice to meet you. I'm your script supervisor. How do you like to work? Do you like to run the whole scenes and this and that, or give notes at the beginning, give notes at the end? Like, so then I can kind of get a feel of how they like to operate, and then we move on from there.